What's going on, paranormal world? I'm here with another back-to-back Ghost Adventure episode discussion. So, did these two episodes impress me or even be considered watchable? Because you all know at this point, I haven't been really impressed with this season of Ghost Adventures. But anyway, let's get started. So, Benson Grist Mill, located in Utah. And with this location and place being 150 years old, I mean, it's just like a paranormal playground. And recently, a spike in paranormal occurrences have been happening to the employees and to outsiders. And this is definitely a cause for concern. And they start the episode off with a lot of comedic dialogue. And really, I don't like that, especially when it starts off the episode. But anyway, you have Aaron Goodwin spazzing out over the gift shop and, candy corn and coffee mugs. And I'm like, really? And I don't know, they just seem to make Aaron a little bit childish in this episode, at least in the beginning. But to more serious things, one of the employees explained that they have seen a tall shadow man, a woman dressed in white, and a man dressed in all white. And one of the most saddest spirits, I guess, on the property is a little girl that drowned. And a lot of people said that they seen her as well. And some of the paranormal investigators that investigated this property have definitely seen these spirits. And one in particular have said that he witnessed seeing chalk being thrown in the old schoolhouse. He also said that in the barn, an evil spirit is always lurking, specifically deep in the basement. People have seen this big, large, old man dressed in black, always looking down on them and just pacing back and forth. Furthermore, after a couple of interviews, we get more comic relief, and I'm like, oh boy, not this again. But shortly after that, they heard a disembodied voice, and the Ghost Adventures crew got back serious. And in the same setting, they also got an EVP saying, "Where's Aaron?" And then they finally start the lockdown. And get this, Jay will be in the worst part by himself. Usually, Zach put Aaron in that situation, but for some reason, Zach swapped him. And Zach just said that he wanted to experiment with Jay. So the entire crew start out in the schoolhouse, and then they show Jay getting locked down in the barn. And then they cut back to Zach and the crew, and they're walking around and stuff, and just trying to feel out the area. And they keep trying to justify all these strange sounds, and they're trying to make it seem like it's all paranormal. But really, in all reality, with this place being 150 years old, you're going to hear a whole bunch of wood creaking and doors creaking and opening and shut. I mean, that's just how things go, especially if, the building is 150 years old. So they should have just, took that into account a little bit more. But I will say, shortly after that, they did capture a Class A EVP saying bicycle, and it was clear as day. But we cut back to Jay, and during the EVP session in the barn by itself, all of a sudden he heard this loud stomp, and he fell back in his chair. And Jay literally passed out, and he was just on the floor rolling around, and I don't know what was going on, man. He was just blacked out and out of it. And lastly, the crew went back to the schoolhouse to see if the camera captured anything or see if any trigger objects were moved or anything like that. But they didn't find anything. But they did do an EVP session. I guess it was like some type of portal EVP device. But they got this little girl saying they will kill me. And take that for what you will, but I guess that was a good EVP. But overall, this episode was okay. But I have one huge question. Why didn't nobody go to check on Jay? He was clearly passed out and blacked out on the floor, like literally. And he literally told them that, hey, I blacked out. I don't know what's going on. And we get no explanation for it. We never got to see them come to the barn, open up the barn, and walk Jay out or anything. Just imagine if Jay was in like a legit medical emergency. He would have died. I don't know. That's what you call neglect. I don't know what kind of paranormal investigators. I don't know, man. It's just all over the place. And, that's what I'm talking about when I say that the editing of this episode is not up to par. And that's the same thing with the previous episodes of Ghost Adventures. The episodes just end abruptly and it just seems rushed. And I don't know, it seems like they're not in the lockdown for the whole entire night. Just a portion of the night. It just seems like they're ripping us off. But other than that, they caught a couple of EVPs and Billy was touched on the arm. And they also caught 2 orbs. But on to the next episode, The Lost Souls of Berkeley, which took place in San Francisco, California, and a rare episode where the Ghost Adventures crew investigate a ship. And this ship is over 100 years old, and with the pandemic being the cause of a lot of shutdowns, this ship was shut down. And the Berkeley has been abandoned for basically 9 to 10 months. The only person on the ship has been the caretaker, and he claims that he has seen many spirits. And it could be true. The Berkeley has seen his share of suicides and murder. However, the ghost that seems to appear the most often is often called the Fedora Man. And as the crew transitions to discuss the history portion and give the tour, they hear some strange noises and a major EMF spike. And while all of this is going on in the engine room, Zach gets a sharp pain in his back and he's freaking out about that. But anyway, they begin the lockdown, but they make a pit stop at Nerve Center to chat about all these noises that they are hearing. And Zach says that it's the baby shrimp hitting the boat. So, you know, I guess they got to keep that in consideration when doing EVPs and stuff like that. But Billy and Jay are basically convinced that it's some other paranormal EVPs going around, because they could have sworn that they heard somebody talking and having a conversation, and it wasn't the baby shrimp. But shortly after that, they captured this loud yell, like some man being tortured. That would have sounded like somebody being tortured and screaming out for help. And they also captured a couple of orbs, a figure on the SLS camera, and they ended the episode with Jay hearing something fall over in the engine room. But to be honest, this episode was a blur. Great location and great history, but honestly, the evidence that they captured wasn't that good at all, and that's just my opinion. So, what do you all think about these 2 episodes of Ghost Adventures? Let me know down in the comment section below. And if you love any and everything paranormal or anything horror movie related, then check out my videos. And if you like what you see, then feel free to subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you can see every time I upload. As always, be safe. Peace.